Hi everyone, this is Jason Zach from Nathaniel School of Music. In this tutorial, we are going to work on finger independence, which is rather different than hand independence. You want to get your fingers working independently within the same hand. Okay, and I've developed a step-by-step exercise which will help you work from that finger isolation, first of all by moving one finger in different directions with respect to the other finger. That's a challenge. So instead of doing both fingers in different directions, we'll keep one finger static as you heard in the intro video, and the other finger will be moving around. Then the next thing is to make it very musical. So while doing this movement, we'll add some passing flavor. We'll add some chromatic passing notes. And then, of course, to cap things off, we'll bring in the left hand. But for now, it's just going to be the right hand to kind of do most of the independence work, while the left hand, you take it as it comes, because this is not a hand independence exercise as such. For more hand independence lessons, you can check out our free tutorials website where you can literally type hand independence. You'll get a huge list of exercises and just concepts to work out independence in general. And if you think about it, playing the piano is about independence, because otherwise you're just going to be a melodic instrument or that's it, and the piano is not really a melodic instrument. If you compare it with anything, it would have to be the drum kit, because it's two hands in isolation, different roles, one groove, one bass, the other could be melody, the other could be chords, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of combinations to group the two hands together. But in this lesson, we'll focus on the fingers. So before we get started, my notes are waiting for you on our Patreon page. You might find that useful. You'll also have staff notation, which is again available on the Patreon page. It's just in one post. So you can go there, download it, and you'll get access to everything. And the Patreon channel will contain supplementary resources for all that we've done on the YouTube channel in the past, as well as what we'll be continuing in the future. And the other thing you'd like to do is hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell right now. Would be great. Okay, let's get cracking. Okay, so the note that will remain static for this entire lesson would be B flat. So we'll play it with one of the upper fingers, the ring or the pinky. So I'll pick the ring for now. The ring finger is a taller finger, so it works better for the black notes. So start off with a quarter note pulse. Get your keyboards out. You might want to pause the video, play along with me, and watch till the very end. It's not going to be this simple. So B flat played 4 times. You can even count, and you can count 2 time signatures. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, or else 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you're counting 2, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 3, 1. When you do 1, 2, 3, accent the 1. 1, 2, 3. Pump it a bit louder. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now the notes that support it would be G, F sharp, F, and E. G is the root. You can consider this as some variant of the G minor scale, sort of what I call as the hybrid minor, which has both the flat 6 and the flat 7 in it. So the notes come from there. So first play this together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Use different fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's G descending to F sharp, F, E. You can also develop another exercise which would be G, F, E, D. So if you don't want to move chromatically, you can go almost in tonal motion. Tone, 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 or semitone or chromatic. Tonally, semitonally. Okay, and do it over the 4-4 and the 3-4. An accent would be nice. And then for 3. What I like to do is maybe hit the one of the 3 harder, staccato, and the 3 of the 3 would be legato. It's sort of like an open hi-hat. Right? That's a decent articulation, I guess. Okay, so already, as you can see, or as you are probably seeing right now, observing as you're playing, there is some independence happening with the fingers, because one finger has to be static while the other fingers have to float around, and you have to decide which finger. So I would encourage you to do this first over 4/4, and then over 2/3, over 3/4 with the tone thing. Those are 3 hits. Now for some embellishments. So the first thing is, look at your target, go one chromatic step down. So what's one chromatic step down from G? It's F sharp or G flat, right? So when do you squeeze in that F sharp? Anywhere you wish. But now here's the challenge. If you play that, and 2 and 3, and you have to possibly, you can't really play it on the beat, otherwise you'll be replacing G. So you have to play it on a subdivision or inside the beat. The common subdivision would be the AND. So let's not complicate too much by going into the 16th note domain. We'll just be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you have the opportunity to sneak in that F sharp at either of the ANDs. You can do 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1. But here's the challenge. If you hit that F sharp, you don't want to re-hit the B flat with that F sharp, because the B flat is the pulse note. It just stays there. And earlier there was not that much independence rhythmically, because we were playing it at the same hit point. Now we are adding that F sharp. So that's the key. You need to work out that isolation between the fingers. So if I hit the F sharp at the end of the 1, don't do, that's wrong. It sounds almost the same, but the exercise is, observe that and don't hit B flat at the end. It's only at the 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can adjust your fingers if you want to use the pinky. Up to you. Use a different finger for the passing note. So that was the ornament at the end of the 1, right? How do I do it in a 3/4? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the same story as I descend. Or tonally. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. That's it. Or I can now target the AND of the 2. 1 and 2 and 3, dum, bum, 2 and 3. But remember, B flat doesn't overplay. There we go. That was tonally, semi-tonally now. And 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4. Now let's target the AND of the 3. We've done AND of the 1, AND of the 2. Now let's AND of the 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 2 and 3 and. That's the 3 AND. So, and 2 and 3. And 2 and 3 and 4. Chromatically now. When you do it chromatically, it's almost like a Pink Floyd song, right? Let me know in the comments. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. You have to focus a bit because you don't want to re-hit the B flat. So you could also record yourself playing and listen to it back, and or watch yourself in a video and see if there's actually a a repeat, or you're overplaying that B flat or where you should not play it. So and of the 4 now, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Let's see that. 1 and 2 and it sounds a bit bad with the semitone thing because you're landing on the note which is the next note. The passing note is the next note. So 2 and 3 and 4. That's nice. Things like actually the second note is a chromatic between F and E. Just white notes. You can even add things now. Now, instead of doing... you can do things like that. You can add other notes. See, I did an extra there. Getting it? Keep the left hand sparse. Otherwise, you won't hear your right hand. Keep that B flat pumping. Okay? And the next level of complexity would be you can do a rhythm like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, we have it notated, check it out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Dun, 2 and F sharp at the end of the 2. Ba-da-da-da-da. Keep that pulse running. Bum, 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 this requires concentration. So you can even sing it, but maybe sing it later. I shouldn't have started singing it now. Even I have to practice this a bit. So things like that. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The idea is to keep this ringing. And you could try this with other notes as well. So if you take this, if you imagine this to be a G minor scale, which it is, harmonic or natural, you can take another target note if you wish and then just drop it down, I guess. So keep that, go down a third, and then things like this, and then doesn't even have to be on a scale. It can just be kind of thirds, major third or minor third. So let's take C for instance. Its major third descending would be A flat. I'm just considering a neighboring vicinity notes to be G and B flat. Things like this. And you have to keep that C pumping. Let's take a minor third, which is A. And drop it. Things like this. That's a bit tricky because you can't, and 2 and this is now landing on the and, right? So that shouldn't also be on the and. Your pivot or your pulse note is always at 1, 2, 3, 4. So things like this. So I'm trying my best to keep this always at the pulse. So this could probably start off your journey with finger independence. Of course, there are a lot of table exercises which I continue to do sometimes while having dinner or just before dinner, obviously, or when you're just jobless somewhere, waiting in a queue or waiting for your flight or whatever it might be. You can kind of do all these table exercises. So I don't think I've done a finger exercise without the piano yet on our YouTube channel. So if you're interested in a finger drill which perhaps just uses a table which you can practice anywhere in your school, college, or in jobless scenarios, let me know in the comments. So that's about the exercise, guys. All you have to do is take a consistent note in the upper two fingers, usually the ring if it's black, pinky if it's white. Then you drop down a third and move chromatically down or move tonally down. Well, almost. We did G, F, E, D. If it was tonally, it would be. Doesn't sound so good, which is why I did G, F, E, D. There you have it. That's an exercise to practice finger independence. I keep thinking finger independence because I usually say hand independence. So I hope you found this exercise useful. Don't forget to get the notes and the notation if you want to read it and practice it later as well. It's waiting for you on our Patreon. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe, turn on the bell, leave us a comment, hit the like button, and don't forget to share the video as well. That helps the video grow for sure. And I will catch you in the next one. Cheers.